Goldilocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners. You are tuning into the Goldilocks Productions presentation of the Spiritual Insight Show with Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to this Sacred Circle. It is Sunday, February 20th already. Woohoo! So welcome, everyone. Give everyone a few moments to come in and get situated. And you can see that I have special surprise evening. So not just me. Hello, Ruth. And just welcome, everyone. Hello, Candace. And hello, the viewers who haven't commented yet. And we are streaming live, not only to YouTube, but to Rumble as well. So welcome all the live viewers on YouTube and Rumble. And again, this it's going to be in the archives as well, and on many audio and music streaming platforms as well. So just we welcome each and every one of you. And please like the shows, share the shows, and we appreciate all the love that you share with us during this time. And so, woohoo, and hello, Sarah, Super Space Cookie, welcome. So, I have a special co-host this evening who is no stranger to us. This is Reverend Lee Chapin. Reverend Lee,
Thank you for having me. It's been about a year since I've been on.
Yes, it's been since she's had her show. So it's yes. But you remember Reverend Lee Chapin, for those of you who have been following us for quite a while, you remember her. So just want to show her website here. And
Thank you, Tiffany. Yeah, it was a fast year.
It went, I thought it was you did a year and a half, maybe, I'm not sure.
I think I stopped last April or something.
That's what it was, yeah. And so hello, Linnell, welcome. And so then we have a very special guest, and we're going to be speaking with David K. Miller is his name. I'm putting all these websites up here to the chat that you can click directly onto the link. Okay. And founder of International Medium Group focused on personal and planetary healing called the Group of 40. He has been the director of this global healing group for over 25 years, and he has been developing groundbreaking global healing techniques using group consciousness and planetary healing techniques. And so one of the techniques that he uses is called developing planetary cities of light, which helps to create sacred cities of light around the globe. All right, and so we're really excited to have him with us this evening. And so welcome, David.
Well, it's wonderful to be here, and I really appreciate this opportunity to talk about our wonderful work.
Yeah, I'm excited to connect with you because I also have a powerful interest, as Tiffany does, in the cities of light. So we're really excited to hear, what you have been doing and what you're bringing forth for others to help activate the cities of light. So we're really excited to have you here, David.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, I could begin talking about the Cities of Light project if you want me to, or maybe you have other questions first you want to ask me.
Yeah, we can ask you some questions, and we can go more into that. And I just wanted to let everyone know, I did share the link where you could take a look at all of David Miller's published books. And you can find him on Amazon, but you have to type in David K. Miller, and you can find his books on Amazon. And then be sure to follow him too while you're there. And of course, Reverend Lee Chapin's books are on there too. Be sure to follow her as well. So
thank you.
While we're just sharing the love, let's just do it all the way around. So yes. All right. So I guess you want me to start, Reverend Lee. I'll start with the questions. So David, the group of 40. Wow. What is the group of 40, and why is the number 40 so important?
Well, the group of 40 is an Arcturian planetary healing group. And I am an Arcturian channel. I've been channeling now for probably 28 years. And one of the missions that I received was to start a planetary healing group and the name of the group they gave me was 40. And therefore it began as the group of 40. Now, I'm also trained and I'm a student of the Kabbalah. And in the Kabbalah, 40 is a special number. It's the sacred number. Uh, we know that Moses went up on Mount Sinai for 40 days and 40 nights. And also there is information that Jesus went out in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. And there are other examples in the Hebrew Bible about 40. So 40 is a sacred number in Kabbalah. And I believe that was the reason why the Actuarians chose this name. And they asked me to start with 40 people to start a planetary healing group. And this was way back in 1996 or 1995. And the purpose of the group was to do personal and planetary healing. And they gave me, that I was able to channel information on specific planetary healing techniques that the Arcturians recommend. And the two most popular techniques are the Planetary Cities of Light project, and the second one is called Biorelativity. And I'd be happy to talk about those in as much depth as you'd like to hear about.
So how did the Arcturians start coming to you? How did you first start channeling? How did this happen that you started working with the Arcturians?
Well, in the Kabbalah, we talk about automatic speaking, which is the term that the rabbis used in the Middle Ages to describe how they were connecting with their guides and masters. And they actually went to the graves of their deceased masters and would lay on the grave and begin to channel or automatic speak information from them. So I've been studying the Kabbalistic energies for many years, but I moved to Sedona, Arizona. I'm sorry, I moved to Prescott, Arizona, which is near Sedona, in 1987. And I was living before that in Ohio, and it was like a big opening. I had a geographical, spiritual opening. Sometimes people talk about, changing geography, and then it opens up different chakras. And I really opened up a great deal, and I started attending many of the classes in Sedona at the time. And I spontaneously began to channel when my wife and I, Gudrun is her name, and she's also a visionary artist. We went to the north rim of the Grand Canyon in a special place called Sublime Point. And you can imagine just by the name how beautiful that was. And I just began to spontaneously channel, and that was the beginning of that. And then later on, at a campground at the North Rim, the Arcturians were able to send me more messages about starting this planetary healing group.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Tiffany. I have a question, but go ahead, hon.
All right. How, I think that's fascinating about working with the Arcturians. And I think we kind of pretty much know, but what is the Arcturian mission and what is their role?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, and their spiritual and dimensional transformation of the planet.
Okay, first of all, I want to explain that as a channel, I do channel about 8 or 10 different energies. And the Arcturians are one of them. And I channel several Arcturian masters, including Giuliano, Tomar, and Helioa. And their mission is to help activate us for the ascension and for going into the 5th dimension. And they told me that they have helped other planets, and that this planet Earth, is going through a stage of development that they call Planetary 1 level stage of development. And I compare this because I'm also a student of psychology, and I have studied psychology and psychotherapy. I compare this to the stages of development of a child, where you have different stages of accomplishments or achievements that a child must go through to go on to the next level. And we're, according to the Arcturians, in stage one, which they call the conflict in stage one that must be resolved is spirituality versus technology. If a planet develops more advanced technology that is more advanced than their spiritual achievements or understanding, then they're going to have a problem. And in our situation on Earth, our technology is gone far advanced over our spirituality. So the Arcturians say we must work to raise what they call the spiritual light quotient of the planet. And in fact, they say that this is a living planet. Now, this isn't new information to, star seeds like yourself, because we know that the planet even has a name called Gaia. But many people still don't understand that this is a living planet. And these techniques that they gave us, or are giving the world through me, is how to relate and heal and rebalance the planet through thought meditations, and through energies, and through working with sacred places, including planetary cities of light. And the idea is that we are to raise the spirituality and the fifth dimensional energy on this planet to solve this current crisis that we're in.
So the first development of planet Earth, what does that look like for us? Can you explain? Because you're talking that we're like in the beginning stage of the first development of planet Earth. What can you describe, or does the Actuarians tell us like how we go through those developmental stages, or where we're moving towards?
Well, they talk about 5 levels of planetary development, and the if we went to, let's say, level 2 or level 3, for example, we'd be able to control the Earth better. We'd be able to control the tornadoes. We'd be able to control earthquakes. We'd be able to stop all wars. We'd be able to feed everybody, and we would be at a higher spiritual level. But we right now in stage one, we're just learning about the Earth and how the Earth is interacting, and we're arguing in the media about whether or not there is climate change, or whether or not the climate is changing, or what are there Earth changes? Is man causing Earth changes? But in level 2, the humans, with their thought power and with their meditations and other techniques such as planetary cities of light, can control these so that they're not damaging. And in level 2, the human evolution is higher. Now, this is
Human level. Say that again. I didn't hear that part, David. I'm sorry.
2, the human evolution is higher. This gets me into this other concept, which I find fascinating, which is the evolution of the human species. And we are Homo sapien, and we have evolved. Now, some of our ancestors were Neanderthal, some of our ancestors were Cro-Magnon, Homo erectus. There are a whole line of different subspecies that are part of that we are emerging from. But the Arcturians say that we are not the last step in the development of the species, and that Homo sapien should and can move to a higher level that they call Homo omega. And Homo omega is fifth dimensional. So going into the next stage of development, if we get there, then we will be into the next evolutionary stage of development. Now, I personally found this fascinating because I always thought that the human Homo sapien is the last. We're the it. But if you really think about it and look at evolution, we're just in a chain. And now the question, of course, is what is the characteristic the next level of development? And the Actuarians answered that for me, because if you look at evolution, for example, the movable thumb was a big evolutionary step in the line of the Homo sapien species, and the being able to stand upright is another, and of course having a bigger brain and being able to be tool making. So there are some characteristics that we all would recognize immediately. But the next stage of development, that is higher consciousness. The next stage of development is fifth dimensional consciousness. And this is the stage of development that the Arcturians are teaching, that we must move and teach the planet to move into the next level of development. And they feel so strongly about this. They say if we don't move to the next level of development, we may lose this planet.
Is there a timetable?
Well, they've given us different times, and I always am sometimes hesitant to say, well, 20 years or 10 years, because what happens is that if people make predictions and say, well, by 2050 this is going to happen, and then all of a sudden it happens by 2022,
Yeah.
And for example, they did say, for example, that the entire ocean system could collapse by 2035. That was one prediction. Now, what would that mean? I mean, the ocean, if the ocean life collapsed, there'd be no life in it. I mean, I can't imagine what it'd be like to live on this planet without ocean life. But when I start studying what's going on, I see, for example, at the Gulf of Mexico, where the Mississippi River, feeds into the Gulf, there is a huge dead zone. And one report I saw said it was like 75 miles long. And when a dead zone means there's no life in it. Now,
Right.
that's really scary. And these dead zones are getting larger. So basically, they call this we're in a planetary crisis, and we're in the sixth mass extinction. Now, the sixth mass extinction is information they brought through, but if you study now modern anthropology, for example, you will find some anthropologists who are also ringing the alarm. Now, what is a mass extinction? The mass extinction means that we can compare it to the fifth mass extinction that occurred approximately 55 million years ago, when the asteroid hit the Yucatan Peninsula and, of course, led to the death of the dinosaurs, but it led to the death of 90% of all plant and animal life. And the Arcturians are saying we are in a crisis just like that.
So I have an interesting question from one of our viewers, Kim. Are the Arcturians shapeshifters? Because she's been dreaming of these beings, celestial beings that are changing right in front of her. So she's just trying to identify who they are.
Well, I mean, when I work with them, they emerge in a form that is somewhat like a human form. Now, there are other people who are channeling and working with the Arcturians, and your viewer may be experiencing them as shapeshifters. My personal experience in channeling has not brought down that information, so I cannot confirm that.
Okay. Now here's another one. I do believe. I think you talked about this on your website, if I'm not mistaken. I've been watching some of your videos too, maybe. But she asked another question. But how about the magnetic north shifting and new crack in the earth near that? Now there was a difference with the pole shift, right? I think there's some confusion with that.
Well, the Earth is going through a lot of changes, and the magnetic pole shift is both an energetic electromagnetic shift, but also there are star seeds who think that the Earth is going to reverse itself. So like here we have the Arctic Circle on the North Pole, and then all of a sudden the whole planet is going to reverse itself. The problem is if that happened, we would all die because the Earth's gravitational field would be so erratic that we could not survive that. And you can imagine if you saw the tsunami that happened many years ago from Fukushima or something. Can you imagine what the tsunami would be if the Earth reversed itself? Everything would die. So I talk about, and the Actuarians talk about the electromagnetic shifting, and that is happening, and the North Pole energy is shifted. I think one report said it was shifted 30 or 40 miles. I don't know the exact figures. I haven't looked at them recently, but the electromagnetically there are major shifts, and it's hard to explain it all. But just for imagine this: that we are going around the sun, okay, and it takes us 365.25 days to go around the sun. But we're going also, our whole solar system is going around the galactic sun, the central sun. And that journey, and this is a hard figure to imagine, takes around 250 million years. 250 million years. So we are now traveling through space in time and coming across electromagnetic energies and God knows what in areas that no one in our history has ever gone through. So there could be other shifts from the galactic source, from the central sun, and even from other star systems as we are on this journey around the center of the galaxy.
Mhm.
So I find that we are multidimensional beings, and so is this living biosphere that we are on. And so there's different aspects. If the dimensions pretty much are like frequencies, and we're tuning in to the third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, it's because it's a process, and each dimension has a frequency. So where people see, okay, where we're in this crisis state is in the 3D. That frequency most definitely is in a crisis state. Part of the chaos for the rebirth, right? But that doesn't mean that we're going to go through it that way unless we stay there. If we don't do anything, then isn't that just creating um, our own personal outcome, with this planet?
Well, I'd like to talk about the third dimension, the fourth dimension, and the fifth dimension. And I just concluded a lecture that is going to appear in the Sedona Journal of Emergence. And incidentally, the books that I have written, I have 16 books. One of them, and most popular, is called Connecting with the Arcturians. And I think that book has sold, maybe 30,000 copies. But the Arcturians talk about the third dimension, and we have certain rules, namely the law of cause and effect, that operate in the third dimension. The fourth dimension is also includes the astral realm, and it includes the lower astral realm and the upper astral realm. And the lower astral realm, as you would imagine, contains ghosts and lower beings and negative entities. And the Arcturians are talking about dimensional fracturing or dimensional splitting, where for a variety of reasons, and some of them are well known, such as nuclear energy experiments and also energy and time travel that some of our military has engaged in, has led to a split in the veil between the third and fourth dimension, and lower beings are able to come through and attach themselves and create more mischief. And I think we're seeing that right now on many parts of the planet. Not to mention, for example, Ukraine and the Russian Ukrainian crisis. But the fifth dimension is above all that, and the fifth dimension operates on different principles. And the Arcturians are wanting us to download and bring fifth dimensional energy solutions to our third dimensional problems. So if you and I look at the logic of what is going on now on this planet, and we add all up the probabilities, I think we would conclude we're not going to make it. I mean, the ocean is, so full of pollution, the air, and it seems like, people who are trying to work to clean the planet and raise the spirituality are still thwarted by so many of these planetary crises. Everybody's attention now is on Russia and Ukraine. Nobody is talking about this. So, I mean the planetary crisis. And the idea of fifth dimensional energy, it has to deal with what I call the quantum world, which is a world of miracles. And to put it simply, we need miracle-like energy to solve this, but it is available and we can activate it. And that's what the Arcturians are trying to help us through some of my teachings and others people who channel the Arcturians. They're trying to give us these tools. Now, one of the tools for planetary healing is the Planetary Cities of Light project. And the idea of the Planetary Cities of Light project is making more sacred places. The more sacred cities we make, the more the spirituality and the spiritual light quotient of the planet is raised, and the easier it is to bring in fifth dimensional light.
Can you give a definition of the planetary cities for those who may not understand it?
Okay, so the planetary cities of light are a term that the Arcturians gave, in which we as a group, the group of 40, activate cities of light, or cities. And right now we have around, I think, 75 cities around the globe. And I wish I could have brought the map with me, because we have a map they're all over the world. There's many of them in South America. We have some in the United States. We have some in Germany. We have many in Australia, in New Zealand, and Mexico, in Central America. So we have a specific network of planetary cities of light, and we have meetings where representatives of the planetary cities of light meet. We had a beautiful meeting today, for example, and we had over 55 different representatives of planetary cities of light around the world. So the idea is that we activate these cities of light with Arcturian energy, and we plant 4 crystals in all the cardinal points, and then we have a worldwide meditation where we set up a corridor of light from the Arcturian starship, Athena, and then we activate the energy for fifth dimensional thinking. And the activation is a little more complicated than what I've just described, but I just gave you a rough outline.
And how do you choose the cities of light, David? How are they chosen?
Well, we have requirements. For example, we have to have 4 people, and they submit applications. We actually have a committee, if you can believe that. We have a committee that reviews all the applications, and all the information is online, by the way, at www.groupof40.com. And I have other people helping me, such as Robert Maldonado, who's in Alabama, and he's the international coordinator of the Planetary Cities of Light project. So we have an application, and if people are interested to activate their city, then they get the application. They have to have 4 members, and they have to agree to go through the activation, and then they have to describe a brief, give us a brief description, and then our committee looks it up and reviews everything, and then decides if they're really serious, and then we set up an activation date. So, and then we set up a network where we all meet and interact with each other. And again, this is the idea from the Arcturians of raising the spiritual light energy of a city of light. And that's why they call them the cities of light, because we're really talking about fifth dimensional light.
Mm-hmm. And those cities are activated etherically or into the physical earth?
Well, no, they're activated, actually both. They're activated with fifth dimensional light on the earth. So we, like I said, the people plant crystals inside the earth, and then we meet, and we through the meditation and activation, we bring down Arcturian connections, and that it begins the activation.
Mm-hmm. And this is a part of the group of 40. This group is a part of, those are the individuals that are part of the Cities of Light.
In order to participate in the Planetary Cities of Light project, you have to be a member of the group of 40. But it's pretty easy to join the group of 40. And it's www.groupof40.com. And we also have, in several languages, we have a very strong Spanish components. We have many people in South America, and we have many of our leaders are speaking Spanish. For example, Bob Maldonado is bilingual, and so he leads the Spanish speaking part very well. We have members who speak German. We have a large contingent in Portugal. I'm sorry, in Brazil speaking Portuguese. And we even have some members in Romania. And I want to emphasize that this Planetary City of Light project is one of the main tools of the Arcturians that they're teaching us. The second tool is called Biorelativity. And if you're interested, I'd like to tell you also about biorelativity.
Go for it, David.
Go for it. Okay. Well, biorelativity means that you're doing planetary healing meditations. Now, as a therapist, I have studied the effects of meditation on healthy people, and also the effects of meditation on ill people. And I found several studies that showed that if somebody is ill in a hospital or something like this, and there are a group of people meditating, even if they don't even know the person, that there was a higher cure rate among those patients who had people meditating for them. So let's take that model and look at the planet. We can meditate and talk to Mother Earth. Now, some people might think this is far out, but I look, and the Arcturians talk about a concept which is called the sacred triangle, and they talk about the native peoples on this planet. And the native peoples have been talking to the earth for centuries. Mm-hmm. They have shamans that talk to the earth. The native people have medicine wheels. They have ceremonies. That, they are very wise, the native population, the native people around the planet. They're very wise in how to interact and talk with Mother Earth. And the Arcturians have added to this by saying that we, as starseeds, have advantages that the shamans and the native peoples did not have. Internet. Look at us right now. I think you're in the Chicago, and you're in the New England, and I'm in Arizona. Okay, we have the internet, and so we are organizing planetary healing meditations globally. So this is, and we have several examples over the years where storms were coming through, or other Earth events, and we were able to moderate or modify what could be a severe situation. So that's the basis of now why they call it biorelativity. There was a geologist, and his name slips my mind, but I could send you his name, who wrote a book. His work was in a book called "We Are the Earthquake Generation." And back in the 60s and 70s, there were people from this teachings of the geologist who said, let us meditate on California to block earthquakes. And if everybody was meditating and saying, okay, the earth plates are calm, then there would be fewer earthquakes. Now, remember, I said in the planetary stage 2 development, the Arcturians said the people on the planet, when they got more spiritual, were able to control things like earthquakes with their power of thought.
Yeah, it's I hear they say command. It's really command, not, because controls the mind. Command is from the heart. It's love responding to love. When we connect with nature, we connect with this earth, and we connect with the weather, we live in harmony with each other. It's love responding to love. So that's a love commandment, so to speak. But and it's been done before. This planet did start off as a fifth dimensional planet and fell. And so that whole imprint is there. And I think technology is, we have technology outside of us that has far has just gone even higher than our spirituality. But we have spiritual technology, and that's what this planetary city of light, like what you're explaining, is that we are using We are very, very powerful. And I think people forgot that because we weren't taught our own individual empowerment and that we can help raise the vibration just by being the light that we are. And so that's, I think it's very beautiful.
Right.
Can I share a story real quick?
Yes.
Mother Earth told me a long time ago that as long as I'm in alignment with Mother Earth, that she would protect me and protect all of us if we're in alignment with her. And one time there was a straight wind storm coming, the 100-mile-an-hour winds coming, and I got scared. It was early in the morning, and I was like, "Oh goodness!" And all of a sudden, I said, "Stop!" And in that moment, the wind stopped. I'm not kidding. The wind stopped. The straight line wind stopped. The right at my house, because there was no more wind damage past my house. There was wind damage at my house, and a tree limb fell on my roof. I didn't get injured, but when I said stop, the winds literally stopped, and there was no more. There was damage all the way up to my house, and then past that, no more damage. I was like, this was like in the early 90s when I started channeling. And I'll never forget that moment. It was really powerful. So that your point is well taken, Tiffany.
Right. Yeah.
The Actuarians talk about what's called Arcane Power, Arcan, Arcane Power, which is the power of the thought. And the Arcane is the Actuarian terms for measuring your thought power. So I use this example. You have a light bulb that's 10 watts, a light bulb that's 30 watts. 30 watts bulb is 3 times more than the 10 watts. Okay, now what if the thoughts also had power and we could measure it? And the Arcturians say, yes, we can measure them. Now, in the example that you gave, the wind, you had strong arcane power at that moment. You said stop, okay, and that was great. And it was like the mind is able, with the strong enough thought. Now we're talking about the whole planet, so we need to have group consciousness and meditating to make some shifts, and that's what I think the Biorelativity is about, and also about the Planetary Cities of Light project. The other thing is that the Arcturians talk about the sacred triangle, which is the unity of 3 spiritualities: the Native American spirituality, the spirituality of the White Brotherhood, White Sisterhood, which is also the Ascended Masters, and galactic spirituality. Now, I don't know very many religions that talk about galactic spirituality, but I'm very happy to be a messenger for the Arcturians and their teachings of galactic spirituality. And one of the ideas of galactic spirituality is the idea that we're uniting with the native peoples, and also that we're looking at the planets in terms of the stages of development that we are seeing. The Arcturians told me there are 5,000 planets in this galaxy that have higher life on them. 5,000. Now, we could statistically look at them and say how many stars are there in the galaxy, and every time I look, I see different figures. 200 billion. I mean, I can't imagine a billion, so I don't know how much 200, but let's just say there's 200 billion suns. And now we've already discovered that I think they've discovered close to 2,000 exoplanets. So that means that planets are normal in solar systems. And it's just going to be a matter of time before we discover a planet with life on it. And the Arcturians say they have traveled to other planets and seen these planets go through stages of development that we are now experiencing.
And I just want to step back for a little bit. How can people become a part of that group of 40 to be able to participate, in that global ascension process of working with the cities of light? How can people be a part of that? I know you said they can go to your website and join, but again, is there a qualification, or you just have a desire, or?
No, anyone could join. They just fill out a form. There's a small fee that covers our administrative expenses because it costs a lot of money to keep a website going, etc. And then we assign them wherever they are. There are country leaders, and we assign them the country leader, and then we have approximately 50 biorelativity planetary healing meditations a month. 50, and they're occurring all over the world, then many of the meditations are based on the channeling that I've done with Giuliano, because he channels, or he gives me specific healing meditations that include various other techniques. And then we get a newsletter, and then every month I do a channeling and I send it out to everybody, and then you could participate in the Planetary City of Light project. So it only requires just signing up. That's all. There's no other requirement.
Mm-hmm.
That's
except
wonderful.
interest.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, David. I know you're a very busy man. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule and sitting with us. And everyone, please check out his website, groupof40.com, and you can contact him through the website as well. So thank you so much, David. This has been a really wonderful interview conversation, and we are just very grateful for you and for the Group of 40. And so thank you so much. And we look forward to we'll be in touch. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
All right, and so Reverend Lee, let's just catch up here with some of the viewers here, because I know it's been a while since everyone has seen Reverend Lee, and I want to talk about your Mary Magdalene Monday channelings. And so tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. you have it, right? And how can they just go to your website to sign up for that?
Yeah, they can go to my website, which is leechapin.com, and you'll just see that information there on my website. Every Monday morning, I channel the mystical teachings of Mary Magdalene and Jeshua. I've been doing that at least 15 years. I've been dedicated to that practice or to that group every Monday morning for over 15 years. And tomorrow, Tiffany is going to help us host that so we can have a better quality, because I put that information out. It's a audio recording, put that out onto my YouTube channel. And so she's so gracious to help me bring that out. And then I have other classes that I teach. I'm teaching the Sacred Flames class. The Ascended Master is working with the 7 Sacred Flames. Tiffany's also joining us with that. I teach every other week. I teach an intuitive development class. And then I also work with the energies of Sarah, which I'm bringing back my 3rd book, The Daughter of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. I'm bringing forth the energy of Sarah, who is the missing Holy Grail. So I'm excited to bring that message forward. So yeah, there's a lot going on in terms of bringing the information and sharing and helping raise the consciousness. So we don't have to go down that rabbit hole as David was talking about.
Right. Exactly. And so can I do they have to sign up for this Mary Magdalene tomorrow, or can they just show up? Or what I'm asking is, like, do they have to contact you, or do you want me to just give the number for them to call?
I would like for them to just go ahead and contact me. They can email me at leechapin.com. I can talk with them about how the format works. And then it's a teleconference number that I use. And so I'd like to be able to have that information so then I can know who's coming. And because it's more of a small group, a more intimate group, we have a core group that we work with. But if you're interested in that, you're more than welcome. I do accept donations for that class, but there's no requirement for that. But again, like David said, it pays for my assistant to be able to put all that information out for free to others to receive the blessings of the teachings of Mary Magdalene and Jeshua. So thank you for bringing that forward. I really appreciate that.
Oh, no, I mean, it's very important what you do. It's very important what we all do. And just, I just want to put this out there is, take what you can get and just take what resonates with you and just leave the rest. And that's with everything that comes out in the information and things. And so we just want a little reminder, and let me just do this the little heart tuning fork here, just to, woo, take some deep breaths. Also, Linnell loves your Sarah book. I'm so excited. I kind of already knew. Yeah, you're new. Okay.
What was it you said? Somebody said, what did you say?
Linnell said, "Yay for the Sarah book, the book
Oh,
that
yes.
you did." Yes, with Sarah, and she's so excited, and she kind of already knew. So yeah. Think we all kind of have that. Yeah. Well, if you were in the scene or you're Gnostic, or we have that memory, right? And so that's what I love about Reverend Lee activates those, or it just kind of like, oh wow, yes, that seems so familiar.
Oh, I forgot to say that I do my monthly Essene class. Yeah, once a month as well. That's right. I forgot about the Essene messages. Been doing that now for a year.
Yeah.
Bringing once a month the voices of the Essene. So if you feel like you are have a connection to the Essene, so that you lived, during that lifetime with the Holy Family and Jesus, and you felt like that connection with the Essenes or the Cathars, please go to my website and you can certainly contact me, and I'll give you that information about how to join us. It's once a month. I do it on a Tuesday evening. I think the next one's March 15th, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and so you have different classes. So check out her website and see everything that she has going on. You're wrapping up one now, though, right? So how often you're wrapping up the Sacred Flames?
Yeah, we got two more. I've got two more classes. There's 7 flames, working with the Sacred Flames book from Aurelia Louise Jones' book from Mount Shasta, who brought forth that information with the 7 Sacred Flames and the Masters in her book. But I'm working with an 8th flame, which is Sarah's flame. So that'll be a bonus flame that we'll be doing on in 2 weeks, bringing the white flame of purity and innocence. And that's Sarah's bringing the energy of balance, which David was talking about, our planet needing balance, and how we can, can we be saved? And I'm an optimist. I believe, and I've seen the change. I've been doing channeling now for 29 years, and I've seen such a rapid change in people's growth in the 29 years that I've been working, in terms of more people awakening. And so I find it very hopeful. And again, the many masters are coming to help us. And so Sarah's coming as what I call the nurturer and awakener. She's here to bring that balance, that energy of the male-female essence back on this planet that's so needed because of the distortion of the misguided masculine energy that's been dominating our planet. And of course, a lot of us know about the sacred feminine energy of bringing that forward to bring compassion and love. But it's important to bring the balance of the energy of the two together, of the yin and the yang, of the mother, father, goddess energy, so we can return to that balanced state. That's Sarah's role. That's what this new flame, this white flame of purity and innocence is about. It's about returning to our innocence, returning back to the original essence of our spiritual essence, purity and innocence of our spirit.
That's beautiful. And you're welcome, Linda. Linda's like, thanks for adding to Lee's Monday meditation group. I love your Monday group, Lee. Thank you. That's from Linda Mayer.
Thank you, Linda.
And I just want you, let me go slow and spell it out for those that's going to listen to this on audio. Lee Chapin's website, LeaChapin.com. LeeChapin.com, and that's where you can go and sign up for all of her wonderful classes. Check her out, and you can also book a private session. You do private sessions as well, correct?
I do private sessions. I'm a psychotherapist, and so I combine my ability to hear spirit as a direct voice channel for spirit with my psychotherapy education and training. And people call me who, of course, have issues or life challenges, and then I'm able to help them to access the higher wisdom from spirit. I work with many beings of light. I work with the Holy Family, Jesus, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, but I also work with St. Michael and Metatron and Cryon and the Palladians. I've channeled the Arcturians, and so I'm a versatile channel. So whoever wants to show up that is for your highest good, I have been very fortunate and blessed to be able to access a variety of energies to help people with their life challenges. So it's the best thing that ever happened to me. I started doing that 29 years ago. And I'm just grateful to be able to bring these powerful messages to help others. Because I knew years ago when I worked as a traditional psychotherapist, there was a better way of helping people. And it was before I started channeling, but I just had this sense that there was another way. And so I was really blessed to be able to have that and combine my work together to help people.
You know, I just love you so much. And I know all of your viewers do too. And just love your energy. And we missed your show, but we know you're still busy. And so Kim said she had a private session over a year ago. It was amazing. And I listened to her weekly to continue my growing. Aww.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yes, yes. And so it's there is it's just want a reminder. All right. And this is what I'm getting is just a reminder that there's many different aspects of this planet, like we talked about, the third, fourth, fifth, etc., sixth, seventh day. I mean, we can go all the way, but this planet, she is expanding and growing and ascending to the seventh dimension, which is Gaia. Her third dimension identity or aspect or vibration, because our names have a sound frequency to it, has a signature to it. So we call her Earth, Mother Earth, the 3D, right? Her fifth dimensional name is Tara, Tara. We're not stopping there. She's not stopping there, because we have people that's working in Gaia energy, which is seventh dimension. And that's right there. She's going to keep growing and expanding. So we're not just, the goal is not fifth dimension. It's go higher, because those of us who meditate regularly, those who spend time with our higher self is in the 12th dimension, all right, with our guardian angel. So if you're not sure you're talking to your higher self, communicate with your guardian angel, and your higher self is right there. All right, you know. And so we're going to just keep going. There's no end destination. We just keep going and going and going and growing and expanding, and it's so beautiful. And yes, the Palladians have totally helping and helping us as much as they can. Now, it's not, we have to do our own work, but they're excited in this ascension and this growth and expansion. And they are seventh dimensional energy. And they've talked about how in order for higher beings to come in, they have to step down and come in through the Palladian stargates. That the beings that are coming in that are very high vibrational, they use portals and stargates to come in here, okay, to help raise the vibration. And these are the ones, not all beings have permission to help. All they can do is observe. And so the celestial beings that are having a vested interest, maybe because we're hybrids, maybe because of their star seeds, right? They're working together, but not for. We still have to do our part. We have to do something. You can't just sit back and say, when this is all over. Well, no, you have to do your part. You need to shine brightly. You need to participate. Because I think that feels right now, as we see the world in turmoil outside of us, this is the time to go inside even more. And it's very powerful when we do that. And what tips, Reverend Lee, do you have for everyone other than turn the TV off?
To be able to turn within and get quiet?
Yes.
Well, what's coming to my mind is invoking the energy, the I am, into your heart. And that will help to raise your frequency. And this is what I like to do to help people get calm, because I know what's happening with lots of people, that there's so much stimulation. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of fear. And I help people to move into their, what I call into their heart chakra, into that still point, and just invoking, I am that I am, I am that I am, I am that I am. And as you begin to call in that I am presence into your heart, every time I do that, I really feel a sense of empowerment. I really feel it into my heart. I feel that energy. And I'll ask people to do that to calm their mind, to release the fear. So as you turn in and begin to listen to the still point, I call it the still point within your heart, that energy of where you have your own innate wisdom. You may call it your soul, or your intuition, or your I am presence. Once you begin to tap into that, instantly you can go into that place of peace and connection, and then come back into clarity. Because again, there's so much, the TV, our phones, again, the electromagnetic frequencies out there, all the stimulation that's happening in the world, again, our own thought forms that are affecting us, and other people's energies that we're around that are perhaps may not be at the vibration that matches our vibration. So that affects us as well. So it's important to hold our frequency as high as possible to be able to protect ourselves, just like a hazmat suit. Just as, we have this pandemic and, the medical people are wearing all their gear to protect themselves from the virus. We energetically are in need of protecting our energy from all these influences, to be able to go into the still point, to go into that energy, and then begin to feel that sense of peace and clarity. Because I know that as I teach intuitive development classes, many people are unable to calm their mind and don't really know how to do that. But this is a really simple technique. It's really powerful. I don't know if you feel it, but when I call in I am that I am, I really feel this energy vibrating into my heart. And I can really feel my sense of power. And I can feel this sense of centeredness, I guess is the right word. So I don't know. I think we've done this before, haven't we, Tiffany? Or did we talk about this before?
Oh, yes. We've talked about this when we've shared, I think in past classes together we've done. And how many of you can feel the heat radiating off your heart chakras right now just from doing that too?
Yeah.
And that's why it truly feels like we're lighthouses, because it just bursts out of us and in all directions, doesn't it? It's just so powerful. And we're meant to share our light, not to hold it in, right? We're meant to share that and let it flow through us, the divine source light flow through us. And that's how we plug in to that outlet of source, right? And just let it vibrate through us. And the I am is the plug. And that's what, you plug it and using that. And it's very, very powerful. And so we have a couple minutes left. Do anyone have any questions for Reverend Lee? Our viewers, I know we've missed her so while she's here, take advantage of it. Put your questions in.
I think you're trying to entice me to come back.
I know. Yes.
Well, you never know.
I know. Yeah. And then you can come on my show too and be a guest and do some things together. But if you ever want to come back, you have a place here always. So
thank you.
Yeah. So nobody has any questions or comments, or tell Reverend Lee how beautiful she looks.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Where's your scarves? I miss your scarves.
Yes, that's right. Where are my scarves? Yes. Well, it's nice to be back. It's nice to be back. As I was sitting here, I think, oh, this is really fun. It's I did radio years ago for 7 years through Radio Ear from 2007 to 2015, I guess 8 years. And then I reconnected with you for the year. And so as I sit here, I go, oh, this is really fun to do that. It's fun to share, at least with you, Tiffany. I really like the connection that we have. It's fun to co-collaborate. So we are going to co-collaborate. So we'll leave that for others. We are in that co-collaboration, aren't we, Tiffany?
Yes, we are. Yeah. And
Yeah.
to me, it just feels like two little girls playing. I mean, it just is such a light and fun energy, and it really is. And so Yeah, we miss you. I'm excited for the book. Kim, any messages for me? I'm going to tell you, you're on the right track. Just keep doing what you're doing. You are doing some channel work. I know that you're wondering about that. You are channeling, because you always are protecting two, saying for my highest and greatest only. So you're channeling the right people, the right energies. So just keep at it. You're doing great. And Robin asked a really good question. I know we're coming to the end here, but can you explain psychotherapy?
Can I explain psychotherapy? Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever had anyone ask me that before.
I know, right?
Psychotherapy. Well, it's counseling. It's the, as you would go to a mental health center and see a counselor. I have a master's degree in counselor education. I worked the first 10 years of my career in mental health. I worked in a psychiatric unit, worked in the mental health system, and people would come in with their problems and sit with me, and I would counsel them and help guide them and to help them to provide, again, clarity through my traditional training to help them with their life challenges and issues. The spiritual work that I do is I'm able to channel the information from, let's say, Archangel Michael or Isis or Cryon or Metatron, and I give the higher wisdom of what's going on with that person. As a traditional psychotherapist, I would have limited knowledge just in my training, but in my spiritual psychotherapy work, then I have the higher wisdom of what's happening within your soul and getting at really at the root cause of what's going on at a spiritual level. So traditional psychotherapy is just regular counseling and guidance and listening and not really giving advice, but just coaching people to help them to have a better, higher perspective, I guess is what I want to say, of their life challenges. So here we are a little bit over our time.
It's okay. I'm not going to tell you to stop talking. No, it was great. And it's a good, so yeah. But it's interesting. I mean, in this field of work, we find that how many have been spiritual, very intuitive, and using our gifts, and we go into these fields so that we can help people on a higher level. And so I think that's beautiful. Way before it was acceptable, like now it's acceptable.
Yeah, now it's accepted. Yeah, because people will call me, I mean, from all over the country, the United States, and then I have clients from international that people are open to this level of understanding. I've been doing it 29 years, but now it's just commonplace. People seem to understand what I say, that the tickings of my mind of working with spirit, and I'm really, really grateful for that. Really, really grateful.
Well, this has been so fun, and I'm grateful for you, Reverend Lee, and it was a great interview with David Miller. And thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy weekends to wind down and sit in the sacred circle with Reverend Lee and I. We had so much fun with each of you, and so be sure to tune in next Sunday, which will be the last Sunday already in February.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness! So, all right, Lee, hang out for a few minutes. Don't click off yet. Okay. And so, all right, everyone, have a good evening. Much love.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Share your appreciation to our show hosts by submitting a testimonial for your favorite Goldilocks Productions show.